Today is about leaving no room for error. It's about not concerning yourself with lucky bounces and forgiving pins, because you won't need them. It's knowing it only takes one step out of rhythm, one late release, 1 inch off the pocket. Knowing that could be the difference between being remembered and forgotten, between heartbreak and triumph. So today is about dancing with perfection. Today is about greatness. Today is about major championships. The 2021 PBA Players Championship starts now on Fox.
Welcome to the first title and first major of the season, the reimagined PBA Players Championship, which offers the largest payday on the tour. Over the last month, our 5-region field has been whittled from 381 to our final 5. Last week, Dick Allen ran the ladder to win the South Championship. Before that, it was a 4-bagger of 1 seeds moving on. Kyle Troup from the East. Tom Smallwood put himself in position to claim his 3rd major. Ditto for the Canadian Francois Lavoie, and Anthony Simonson could earn his 3rd major all before he turns 25. Take a look at the Stepladder today. Smallwood, Simonson starts it off. Allen waiting in the 3-hole. Lavoie, your 2nd seed, and your number 1 seed is Kyle Troup. Oh, by the way, did we mention there's a $1 million bonus payday lurking out there should we have a perfect game in our title match, something which the odds are actually pretty high for today. We'll explain more about that a little bit later. Glad you're with us today. Rob Stone, the Hall of Famer, Randy Peterson here with you. Topic number 1, the quest for major number 1 from our number 1 seed. The fast-maturing, still eye-catching Kyle Troup.
You know, Rob, how many times have we been at a sports bar after a great Fox show and some of the patrons are hanging out, they watch the show, and you get recognized, and they come up to you and they say, hey, that guy with the hair and the outrageous outfits and the charisma, man, this guy's unbelievable. We love this guy. Kyle Troup has always had that marketing level Hall of Fame kind of stuff, right? But in my opinion, the performance level really didn't match up until just recently. And the reason why is because of a lot of factors that have changed in his life. He rededicated himself. He refocused. He basically changed his entire work ethic. And because of all these changes, some life soul searching, this guy's ability now and his bowling level is on par with his marketing level.
Where did we talk to him this week? From the car outside the gym. It was a major week, time to get fit. 6-time and reigning PBA Player of the Year, Jason Belmonte, joins us again for our broadcast. And you have definitely seen the lurking signs of a new chapter in Kyle Troup's life, Belmo.
Yeah, g'day, boys. G'day, everyone at home. No, I think this is the very next chapter of the Kyle Troup story. I think we've always seen Kyle from the very beginning as a character with flair. And like Randy said, that performance on the lanes hasn't matched that flair until now. I'm really excited to see the very next part of Kyle's journey, create his own legacy, to begin the Kyle Troup resume from here on in, which we hope turns into a Hall of Fame resume.
Watch your back, Belmo, because he's coming for you, my friend. Let's take a look at today's Flow Bowling Tournament recap. This is from yesterday's lucrative seeding round, Randy. The number 1 seed would guarantee themselves, at worst, $130K today.
Yeah, and after game 1, Kyle Troup's down 20. Going into game 2, though, rebounds nicely and shoots 279 to gain the lead going into game 3. But game 3 would really push and make Kyle Troup prove that he had what it took. He steps up in the 9th and 10th frame, strikes in those frames to lock up the number 1 position.
Yeah, we zoom from 1 to 5 on the seeds. Dick Allen, kind of happy as the 3 seed. Tom Smallwood, not pleased at 4. Anthony Simonson, downright surly as the 5 seed.
Visually and verbally unhappy yesterday.
Physically as well. Here are the odds to win provided by Fox Bet. Troup, your 1 seed, the favorite at -125. Lavoie at +250. 50. Here is our 1 seed, Kyle Troup, standing by with our Kimberly Pressler.
Thanks, Rob. So, Kyle, you've won titles before, and you've put into work to recommit yourself, and it shows. You're coming in as the number 1 seed for the first time ever in a major. But what would it mean to you to win the major for the first time in your career?
That would be the next step in my career, Kimberly. I had a great season in 2020, winning 3 titles, but all the great players in this sport, they're known for the major titles. And I want to be etched in the sport as one of the great players. And I'm ready to take the next step in my career and win this major.
Any additional nerves because you're coming in as the number 1 seed?
No, we're thinking about the millie, Kimberly. If we're going to go out, try and make 12 great shots. And, the ultimate goal is to bowl for this title, so hopefully we bring it home.
I love the confidence. You guys heard it right here. He's trying to go for that 300 in the final match.
Kimberly, thank you. Kyle Troup, 6 tour titles, 0 majors. Match number 1, your 4 seed, Tom Smallwood, taking on 5 seed, the guy many figured as the favorite, Anthony Simonson.
The Players' Championship Central Regional winner, Tom Smallwood.
There are underdog stories, and then there's the story of Tom Smallwood. An auto worker laid off in the Great Recession of 2008 turns to the sport he's loved since childhood and goes from Joe to pro overnight. Good in the clutch, Smalls has been coming from behind ever since he defeated Wes Malott with an epic win at the 2009 World Series of Bowling PBA World Championship. But can Smalls tempt fate again and walk away with another epic win? This is Tom Smallwood.
The Deer Hunter looking for a 12-point buck today here at the PBA Players Championship. Strike hard, strike first. No mercy.
The Players' Championship West Regional winner, Anthony Simonson.
Simo is the baby-faced bad boy of bowling. Dropping out of high school at only 16 to become a pro bowler, his scrappy style has gotten him far.
When you grow up on the lanes, you grow up fast and tough.
While he might look sweet and innocent, Simo's temper is anything but. He's known for his low-to-the-ground, aggressive two-hand style and aggressive attitude on the lanes. He's paid for it, too, with fines to the league for going so far as to break equipment at a tournament. But he's breaking records as well. The youngest person to ever win a major, Simo is also the first to win a PBA Tour title using his backup ball. With so much riding on the line, can he keep his temper in check and claim a victory on the PBA Tour? This is Anthony Simonson.
We saw a flash of that aggressiveness, of that temper, of that spirit to win yesterday during the seeding round. An issue with the lane causing a break. While we have this moment, Randy, let's take a look at the oil pattern today.
And the real gettable, scoreable Don Carter.
The gettable. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, real gettable. 39-foot Don Carter oil pattern. I was looking at some stats here. You're talking about Dick Allen and being the only player to have bowled more than one game. As you can see where the players are going to be starting at in between third and fourth there. But Dick Allen struck 83% of the time in his 4 games. But look for Francois Lavoie and Dick Allen maybe to go a little bit straighter to start.
I'm sorry, did you say 83% of the time?
I did.
It's bonkers.
Yeah.
Of the 5 shows, Belmo, leading up to this one, a 74.3% strike rate. It was a strike fest.
Yeah, the boys never had an issue getting to the pocket and knocking them all down this tournament. And it looks like we're seeing it carry over into the final 5 today.
We had those numbers over 20 miles an hour. 21 miles per hour in the sport of bowling is really fast, and at almost 500 rev ranges. You can see what the players have done in their title matches to get to this point. And again, what really stands out is the
opening doubles for both of them. Look, that seeding round yesterday, a lot of it was because there was guaranteed money waiting for them if they succeeded.
No, that's exactly right. So, I mean, when you're talking about that visual, verbal, and physical moment yesterday from Anthony, I think, you know, he's a young guy. He really wants to create, you know, his legacy. Major championships are the way to do it. But yes, there was a big dollar sign in that seeding round, and the scores are pretty close. So a couple of bad shots here or there for Anthony. If he turns them into strikes, he could have been leading this tournament.
Yeah, and I think you make a great point, because I think him being visibly upset had to do with the dollar sign. And, you know, if he leads, he guarantees himself $130,000. Now, if he loses this match, he wins $50,000. And simple math tells you that's an $80,000 difference. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
The arsenal for Simonson today. Again, the higher the number, more hook. Matching triples to start.
And I think what's interesting early on is watching Simonson and how much straighter he's going this afternoon than he did yesterday. And I think this is the right way to go. Yesterday, he really started to open up the lane. And I get that they were breaking down. I get there was more games bowled, more traffic. But we saw Kyle Troup go straighter yesterday. It paid off. Anthony Simonson started to lose carry because he was creating so much angle.
Yeah, and talking to Anthony, I asked him why. And he said he wanted to get ahead of the transition. He thought the lanes were going to break down super fast, and he wasn't going to have to see that transition with the other guys playing a little further right. Today, Randy, a much more direct line. For me personally, watching this entire event unfold, this first game out of the blocks, it seems the straighter that you went, the better your line to the pocket was to go through the pins.
And he's using that famous blue ball of yours.
That's a nice ball. I like that trend bowling ball.
Four-bagger for Simonson. Smallwood trying to match him. Randy, Hambone is 4 strikes in a row in what indoor sport?
10-pin bowling. Now, Rob, we have 2 ham bones. You know what a double ham bone is? That's full pig.
Full pig. Full pig. Oh, I think every show, opening match building up to this show, the PBA Players Championship, all the regional finals, we had a ham bone, a 4-bagger, early and often in our matchups. Again, going to the point that it has been a strike fest here, and it continues for Smallwood. Perfect through 5. Want to remind you, should we get a perfect game in our championship match, there is a $1 million bonus. And you might say, hey, Rob, it's nice to dream and all. Francois Lavoie, our 2 seed, he's one of only 2 players in the history of the PBA who've bowled 300 twice under the lights. We've had 2 300 televised games at this facility in the last 6 months alone. Simonson trying to match him. He's got a 5-bagger as well. Back-to-back nickels dropped by Smallwood and Simonson in our opening match here at the PBA Players Championship. $250,000 on the line. We talked to all the athletes this week, and one of the questions we threw their way, Randy, who's the favorite? Who's the favorite? And most of them said, rather quickly or with some thought, Simonson. Simonson. Yeah, I believe in myself, but Anthony Simonson's probably the favorite. Why not me? But yeah, Anthony Simonson would be the guy I would list as the favorite. And I think that's another reason, Belmo, why he was so surly after the seeding round yesterday, because he knew he'd have to run the ladder. And he is running it to perfection right now. Crack open a 6-pack. Simonson's perfect through 6. Tom Smallwood, though, no stranger to the pressure of a major. Up next, why he needs that pressure. This is the 2020 PBA Players Championship. Welcome back to just beautiful Jupiter, Florida. And you take a look at the scores. Both Smallwood and Simonson here in match number 1 of the PBA Players Championship can max out with a 300. So this is not something new here at this facility and at this tournament. Go back to match number 1 of the East Regional Final. That's your 4 seed, Chris Vi, took down Tim Foy 300 to 235. So we have had perfection here, not once but twice in the last 6 months on television in this facility. Should we get a perfect game here, it'll be a $10,000 bonus. Should we get perfection in the championship match, $1 million bonus.
Not my best effort.
He didn't like it, but he'll take 6 straight to start.
And boys, of any PBA tournament that I've ever been to, this week, I think is probably the greatest chance we're going to see for that $1 million.
Let's take a look at Tom Smallwood's release. And it's very unique in what most would call a full roller, because the track gets just inside that thumb hole going down the lane. But I'll tell you what, he's really good with it. I think the only downside to that full rolling release is you're limited in terms of how many different...
Yeah, and the speed is higher too. So the rev rate's higher, the speed is up. Anthony, I think he's playing the long game today as well. He's thinking, if I'm going to run this ladder, I want to make sure that I leave a little oil in the middle of the lane to go to. Of everyone who is bowling today, Anthony's probably the best who can open up his angles.
And he missed it. He missed it. Circle this frame. You can't afford mistakes like this at this level with this much on the line going against a guy like Tom Smallwood. You see him get up to his toes there on the left foot and then goes down.
And Rob, this is the misconception of high scores. People think it's all about strikes. But what we've seen...
Simonson's off his game. He walked away as soon as he released that one.
And what we've seen is as soon as someone has opened the door, the other player with this type of oil pattern in this facility has really stepped on his toe. Now, Anthony, that 10-pin, did it rattle him? Perhaps he wasn't happy with that next shot. But maybe that's the next step in Anthony's game, is being able to find a way to quickly let everything go and get back onto it.
Well, he has to, because it's now back-to-back open frames. And this is Tom Smallwood's for the taking right now. Smallwood comfortable in this position. 3 tour titles. 2 of them have been at majors. He's perfect through 8, and Kimberly, this type of pressure is something that Tom Smallwood thrives on.
But saying every time I make a TV final, I'm always super nervous. So I asked him, how do you channel those nerves into something positive? And he said, when I step on the lanes, I mentally commit to what has to be done, and then everything changes to a focused energy. But I need that nervousness, because if I don't have it, I get too relaxed. So I'll take the nerves any day.
Yeah, I'd rather be nervous. The nerves help him. More comfortable, and it shows. And he is comfortable through 9. Perfection. This guy, he's a different type of bowler when it's a major and he's under the lights. Things just don't faze him. Simonson, quick release. He's done and dusted. He's just trying to clear this path for Smallwood as he goes after 300.
Yeah, just trying to get out of the way now. I think what's interesting is we look at our strike track stats powered by Kia at Smallwood, and we talk about the transition of the lanes all the time on the PBA Tour, but Smallwood has actually moved 3 boards to the left since the start of this game.
And we can barely keep up with the pace that Simonson is throwing these rocks right now. Well, you thought he was upset yesterday after the seeding rounds? Give him space when this match is done. And remember, he was perfect through 6.
Well,
Missed the 10-pin in the 7th.
And that's how higher scoring matches go. You know, it's being able to fully finish the game out. Now, if you leave those corner pins, you've got to be able to spare them straight away.
Right.
And you've got to get straight back onto it.
I give him credit. He knew it was done.
Yeah.
He knew what was on the line at a major, chasing 300. Let me get my shots out of the way. Let me just move on. I'm going to be angry and surly in this chair, but I'm not going to let it disrupt Tom Smallwood.
Right, and that's the classy thing to do. Right now, he's going to sit back and root for this man.
We're all rooting for him. 3 strikes from perfection.
The first shot of relaxed on all day.
Said it was the first shot he felt good on all day, where he actually could relax, and he goes in high trips and four.
That's the problem. Don't relax,
exactly.
Tom Smallwood.
I think, you know, and I think Jason will agree with me. I think you always have to bowl with a little bit of an edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you do feel complacent or you feel too relaxed, the concentration level drops. Even if it is just a small percent, can be the difference between striking, bring 10 in, or in this case, the 9-pin from Tom.
Great opening game for Tom Smallwood. The question now will be, as the lanes transition and he has to move farther towards the middle part of the lane like he did right there, will he have enough to get his ball to strike when it hits the pocket?
Tom Smallwood moves on with a 278 to 225 win. So it's now 3 versus 4 in the first major of the season. Francois Lavoie and Kyle Troup still waiting in the wings. Dick Allen has a THB tattoo on his forearm. What those letters stand for now and how its meaning could change by the end of the show next. On Fox with the PBA Players Championship. Next Sunday, we're right back here, the Kia PBA TOC live on Fox. Then to Tampa for the Guaranteed Rate PBA World Championship, also on Fox, March 13th. Then we're out to Reno for the Masters and the U.S. Open early and mid-April. Both of those live on FS1. The winners all compete in the PBA Super Slam just outside D.C., April 18th, again on Fox. Coley Edison, the CEO of the Professional Bowlers Association, standing by live with Kimberly Pressler.
Thanks, Rob. So, Coley, we've made it to the first major of the 2021 season, and my goodness, we're kicking it off with a bang. I thought we were going to have a 300 in that first match.
For sure, Kimberly. It's so great to be here at the Players Championship 2021. So much went into making this season happen. I want to thank our title sponsor, Guaranteed Rate, our official media partner at Kia, all the hardworking and dedicated staff here on the PBA Tour, and, of course, our fans. We have the most amazing fans in the world, and we wouldn't be here without them.
We have the best fans in the world, and I can't wait to see what the 2021 season brings.
Kimberly, Coley, thank you very much. Coming up next, that man, Dick Allen, who last week posted the second highest 4-game TV total in PBA history. He's got Tom Smallwood next when our coverage of the PBA Players Championship, this season's first major, returns. We welcome you back to our continuing live coverage on Fox of the 2021 PBA Players Championship, live from Bolero, Jupiter, here in Jupiter, Florida. Dick Allen set to take on Tom Smallwood. Tom Smallwood, a commanding 278-225 victory over 5-seed Anthony Simonson. Opened with 9 strikes in that 53-pin win. Now he's got the 3-seed, Dick Allen.
The Players Championship South Regional winner, Dick Allen.
Despite the tattoo on his left arm, Dick Allen is anything but typical. With a scrappy style and serious backswing, Dick's been holding his own for 21 years on the tour, famously beating out the brash Sean Rash with a 1-pin win in 2019. Will luck continue to be on this 42-year-old side, or was it all skill and never luck to begin with? If Dick Allen is a typical house bowler, we want to live in that house. This is Dick Allen.
The underdogs champ set to hit the lanes. We talked about that. You can see it right there on the forearm, the THB tattoo standing for typical house bowler. He told us this week, I might add an M to the front of that THB. Why? I'll tell you in a second. Allen gets them all to drop. So from THB to MTHB, Randy, the meaning would now be major title holder. Now I'll let you fill in what the B word is.
I can't. There's no chance of that.
Just channel Dick Allen, and I'm pretty sure you know what the word is.
Major title holder.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the best.
Yep.
Boy, he cracks me up. So fun to be in his presence. Here's your 4 seed, Tom Smallwood, the Central Region winner, looking for his 3rd major title.
That was a really nice shot there, Randy. He's moved off the 9-pin and the 4-pin from the 10th frame of the last game. The interesting thing, though, is Dick Allen playing very, very close to the Anthony Simonson track. First frame, tripped the 4-pin. It looked to have rolled a little sooner. After his performance in the round leading into here, rolling the 2nd highest 4-game series of all time on TV, I'm really interested to see how Dick Allen plays today.
Ran the ladder last week to get here. Smallwood did it as a 1 seed.
Yeah, and there's that transition that Jason just mentioned, and Tom Smallwood's ball read real early on that left lane. And I think the one thing that we've seen on the left lane throughout the competition here in Jupiter is that, if anything, that left lane tends to have a little more hold in the middle part of the lane. Not that time for Smallwood.
Strike spare to start for Smallwood.
Yeah, and if Tom is starting to see that transition, being so far left compared to the other players, a player like Dick Allen, like Francois Lavoie coming in the next match, have to be aware that if they're going to move left, they're going to hit more transition that Tom is already seeing now. So the move, I think, will be larger than normal.
Messenger! Get down! Wobbly like Tom Brady after a Super Bowl party, but it doesn't go down. Too much avocado tequila, but won't drop him. So it looks like it's going to be a matching 9 spare for Allen, should he convert this. Remember, Simonson missed on the 10-pin in match number 1, and that sent his game spiraling down. Little kick, little hip check.
Rob?
Sir?
Avocado tequila?
You're my Rob Gronkowski, my friend. So no opening 4 baggers for either this one. Belmo, you were mentioning the numbers last week from Dick Allen. 269, 258, 278, 277, averaged a 270.5. 39 of his 47 shots were strikes over those 4 games.
And we can already see that the way that the ball is going through the pins in these first 3 shots from Dick Allen compared to what we saw when he ran the ladder. It's a lot tighter for him down the lane. And what I mean by tighter down the lane, I actually should probably be a bit more specific in the fact that his angle is not nearly as sharp. And there could be a few different reasons. It could be that there's a little bit more hook in the early part of the lane, which I think is what he's seeing. So that means the ball will lose a little of its axis rotation sooner, makes it a little smoother down lane.
Later today here on Fox, the NASCAR Cup Series continues at Daytona. Chase Elliott looks to defend his win at the 14-turn road course.
Well, and again, Jason touched on it. It's all about transition, and as the players continue to move and the angles change, that also changes the entry angle of the bowling ball. But for me, watching this kind of play out early on here in Game 2, this is looking like it's going to favor Kyle Troup more and more. Why? Because of his power. And he can move in. He doesn't necessarily have to cross as many boards. We saw it yesterday in the seeding match. He can stay pretty straight for a guy that has a real high rev rate with his ball speed and get all 10 to go down when he hits the pocket.
Again, Kyle Troup, your 1 seed, chasing his first ever major title.
Let's get lucky.
Back Back on the strike train is Tom Smallwood. While we got a quick moment, guys, all of us want to send a happy birthday wish to PBA superfan Michael Barrett. Happy 30th birthday, big man, back in Michigan. Allen steps up here in the fourth.
And with a ball change, Rob. So the other thing that we've noticed is anytime we've seen the transition happen, the players may be lost for a frame or two, but they seem to work it out pretty quickly as well.
Looks like he went much straighter with that new ball change, and the result is exactly what you're looking for in terms of the 10-pin going down. Let's see if it works on the left lane so he can send Smallwood a little message and take the early lead.
This is the second ever TV finals at a major for the 42-year-old Dick Allen, native of Lexington, South Carolina. The first came last year when he finished third at the U.S. Open. That was by far his best career finish in a major. Trying to top it today.
Hit it off your thumb, Allen.
Yeah, that shot, he definitely looked like he grabbed it. And what I mean by that is the thumb kind of locks in at the release point, so it doesn't come off cleanly. It's usually a miss to the inside of target, and that's exactly what happened on that shot there. Inside of target goes high, leaves a 4-pin.
Yeah, and it looks like Dick is committed to the straighter game. I mean, when we saw him rolling so many strikes last week, he was moving with the progression of the oil pattern further and further left, slowing his speed down, creating that angle down lane. Today, for whatever reason, it's obviously a feel thing for him. He sees it a little clearer playing up the lane. It's now going to be if Smallwood can find the adjustment on this right lane, he may be back on that strike train.
First pair of strikes for Smallwood here in match number 2. Remember, he started with the opening 9 in match 1. Finished with the 278. He won't get there in this one.
Again, we talked about it at the top of the show when we did the oil pattern and how gettable this oil pattern is. The pocket's only been missed twice, and that was by Simonson, and that was just kind of in haste to get out of the way of Smallwood. But even though the players can get to the pocket, the other part of the equation in this great sport is figuring out how to knock all 10 down when you get there.
Get really lucky. Oh, wow.
He is providing a lot of commentary for us. It's like a four-man booth right now. I don't remember Tom Smallwood being this chatty during his tosses. We enjoy it. So, coming up next, we wrap up Allen, the underdogs champ, versus Smallwood, the deer hunter, next from the PBA Players Championship. We welcome you back to our continuing live coverage of the PBA Players Championship Finals. Not only the first event of this season, but the first major, and it is the most lucrative payday on the tour this year. $250,000 awaiting the winner. I better make sure this is right. A $1 million payday should we see a perfect game in our championship match, something that has never happened in a major before. We are in match number 2 of a tight one. Allen and Smallwood both kind of struggling to find their groove, but Smallwood's reeled 3 straight off in a row. Allen off a spare in the 5th. Here he is in the 6th. Gets a strike. His 3rd strike of this match. What's the Dick Allen approach looking like this week compared to last week?
Well, it's completely different. And you can see today he's much farther right, and he's trying to use that straighter trajectory like Jason had mentioned. But during the break, I think Jason has a little change of heart in terms of how the lane should be played today based on some things that he's seeing. Jason?
Yeah, I mean, I think the very first thing I'm noticing is there's so much more early hook, which is causing that laziness down lane. Even that last shot from Dick Allen, he moved a little further right, and it still had a hard time coming back. So I think Tom Smallwood has actually got the right idea. Slower ball speed, going across the oil pattern, seeing a little bit more of that friction, but also it's that ball speed. He's a lot slower than everybody else. It gives that ball a little more time to recover, and he's not going through that early hook through the fronts.
First pair of strikes for Dick Allen. Ooh. And he lost his water bottle. And he's distracted Tom Smallwood. And we've got to clean up aisle 5. Clean up aisle 5.
Yeah, there's water everywhere, and that's really bad in the sport of bowling. You get that on your shoe, and the next thing you know, you take a header when you get to the foul line. You never want to get your shoes wet, obviously, and so we've got a little bit of a cleanup going on.
We welcome you back to the PBA Players Championship. The hazmat crime scene has scrubbed the water eruption, courtesy of Dick Allen. By the way, this looks like the scene underneath my restaurant table every time I go out to dinner with my kids. There is always at least one beverage spill. So the crew came out to dry it out. By the way, you guys, it's water, for crying out loud. You jumped from it like it was, you know, like nuclear acid being spilled on you, but I get it. You know, there's the signs when you leave the restroom at every bowling center. Please watch your feet. Make sure they're dry.
Yeah, we bowlers would prefer nuclear acid on the ground than water.
Smallwood to close out the 7th. The break phased him.
The old spillage of the bottled water technique.
Gets some every time.
Every time. That clever Dick Allen.
Well, remember, Smallwood, 3 straight strikes and a lengthy break. And a break, something we've never experienced in television before. I've never had this type of water break. I've had water breaks in soccer, not in bowling.
Never seen it. I only remember one other water bottle incident.
I don't know. Are you familiar with the water bottle incident, Velmo?
It rings a bell. Yeah, it rings a bell.
I don't recall anything.
It's from a while ago.
Is it? Could you fill me in on that? We'll move on. We go to the 8th here. So Smallwood completing that. He remains clean, but he's working off a spare here in the 8th. Allen sitting down, strikes in the 6th and the 7th to tighten things up here. First major of the season. $250,000 payday waiting for the winner. Smallwood, Mr. Major, the deer hunter, in the 8th. Ooh!
That's huge. What a huge break that is for Tom Smallwood. Now he sets up the 9th and 10th frame. And honestly, I'm not truly convinced with Dick Allen's ball reaction yet. He made the ball change. He moved to the right. Once he did that, Smallwood's now 10 boards left of him. But I'm still not convinced that Dick Allen's ball reaction is what I would consider perfect.
Well, what it will do is it's going to force him to be incredibly accurate through the pins. That shot there, as you can see by the strike track numbers, was nearly identical. But that subtle change in the oil on the lane caused a little smoothness down lane. Didn't get the 6-pin to do his job. And there may have been hesitation on that shot too, remembering we did just have
John, can I
a water break.
Please?
So it's just one of those things that we bowlers have to find a way through.
Allen asking for a re-rack. And again, everybody looking down. Yeah, you see the hop.
See that move there?
Wow, he almost fouled.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Now, if he would have had water on his shoe, Rob, he would have ended up at the arrows.
It is officially in the brains of both these men right now.
Yeah, it's right now for Dick Allen. 228, that's the number he's got to be thinking, I got to get to.
He's going to need 4 straight strikes to do it. There's the first.
Like that over there.
Gets the strike in the foundation frame 9th.
Yeah, and that looked a lot cleaner off his hand. That had a great ball roll, extremely accurate at that break point. 8.4 for both previous shots on the strike track.
We talked to Allen this week, and one of the themes, of course, the last couple of weeks building up to this, Belmo, was this strike fest, right? And his line to us, scares the hell out of me. I need these guys to shoot some spares. Well, Tom Smallwood already has had to shoot 3 spares, and here's Smallwood stepping up in the 9th. Whoa, way right, almost lost it.
What a huge mistake that was. And guys, now we actually have the possibility of a tie.
Yeah, and that's 6 on that particular frame. If there was going to be a time to get 6, it was right then. Doesn't lose any on the count, which is huge in the context of this game.
Because he was working on a strike.
So a spare here fills them out. Well, that'll force Dick Allen to fill him out to equal him.
When was the last time you shot the 1-2-5-7?
It's been a while. It's been a while, I think, since Tom shot it too.
Got to cover that 7-pin.
Missed it. Left the 7. Open frame in the 9th. Window opening for Allen. And that window is the size of French doors. This is not just a window. These are doors opening.
Yeah, a little too heavy on the head pin, and then the 2 goes around the 7, basically chopping that spare. Big trouble now for Tom Smallwood as Dick Allen can get up and strike out in the 10th frame and lock it up.
Yeah, Tom's got to be thinking, if I get this double right now, I'm going to force Dick Allen for the strike.
Inside a target.
Oh, boy.
And pays for it.
Stand up.
Needed that 10 to drop. Desperately, he needed it.
Gift wrapping this match to Dick Allen.
That unforced water timeout really paying dividends for Allen. Smallwood struggled after that break. By no stretch of the imagination was that intentional.
Absolutely.
By Dick Allen.
Absolutely.
That is not the type of person he is. You saw his reaction of,
Absolutely.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But how these 2 handled it, 2 different stories. It's going to be another open frame here for Smallwood. He closes the 9th and 10th with open frames.
And that's so uncharacteristic of Tom Smallwood in that situation. Always such a strong competitor down the stretch. Now forcing Dick Allen for a mark to win or a 9 out. So
Just
if he hits
needs
the
9 for
pocket
the win.
here, Rob, it's pretty much all she wrote.
That's a good one.
The underdog's champ moves on.
For the rest of the day, bro. How about that for the rest of the day? How about you just keep making shots like that?
Is he in the right piece of equipment? Is he in the right part of the lane? Or does he use a couple of shots here in the 10th and look for something else?
I think he's got to go to what he feels comfortable doing. Now, what I'm seeing and what he's feeling may be very different. At the end of the day, when Dick throws a shot like that, and just like he said, if I keep throwing shots like that all day, I don't think he has a problem striking. The issue comes to how much room for error does he have through the pins down lane. There's a shot right there. Right there. You could just see the way the ball went through the pins was incredibly different. Nearly leaving the pocket 7-10. That's the hit that he's either going to have to make an adjustment with ball selection, lane play, or he's going to have to just suck it up, throw the rest of the day absolutely perfect
He's making
shots.
a move right now. Let's try this one out.
Go to something stronger. Move into the middle part of the lane and hook it. Let's see what it looks like.
Yeah, this is a scout right now. Let's see what I find. He was not going for that pin, folks. Don't worry about it. Mom back home in Lakewood Ranch, Florida is like, why did he just miss that? It's all right, Mom. Match is over. Just throwing out a little test there. So your 3 seed, Dick Allen, moves on to our de facto semifinal match. Your 1 seed, Kyle Troup, waiting the winner of Allen and Lavoie. So up next, your 2 seed and our lone international finalist, Francois Lavoie, hits the lanes. We're going to tell you what his buzzword for this week is next. Welcome back to Fox's live coverage of the first event and the first major of the season, the PBA Players Championship, reinvigorated tournament, largest payday out there, and we still have the chance for a $1 million bonus should we have perfection in our next match. Your 1 seed, Kyle Troup, awaiting the winner of Dick Allen and Francois Lavoie. The 2 versus 3 matchup coming your way next. There's the Canadian, Lavoie from Quebec City, Quebec. Had to go to a roll-off to win the Southwest region over Kevin Williams. They tied at 232, and Lavoie, 10-9 winner in the roll-off, had a 72.7% strike rate on that show. And he's set to make his 4th major TV appearance. He's going to start in the seat. And as your 3 seed, Dick Allen will begin this match.
How about Kevin Williams went to 2 roll-offs in that Southwest regional finals, one with Benjamin Martinez and then the other with Francois. Well, by far the lowest match that we've had since we started here in Jupiter.
Yeah, and let's not forget that the prize, a major championship, $250,000, is just that little bit closer than it was through the region finals.
Whoa. Makes the ball change like we talked about right before we go to break, and then goes right through the nose.
Yeah, and that was my fear, was that he moved left but didn't move far enough. He moved into that original Tom Smallwood transition. The jumps today, if you're going to get left, I think you've got to make a relatively big jump.
Open frame first for Allen. So he saw Tom Smallwood struggle late with some open frames, and Allen keeps it going. Here's your 2 seed, Francois Lavoie.
The Players' Championship Southwest Regional winner, Francois Lavoie.
Pardon-moi, but have you met Francois Lavoie? This suited-up former Rookie of the Year hails from our neighbor to the north, and the French-Canadian isn't afraid to step on U.S. soil and swipe titles. The first international player to do it, Francois Lavoie has not one, but 2 U.S. Open wins. The buttoned-up youngster may not seem like much of a threat, but under that suit and tie is a fearless competitor who can read the most challenging of oil patterns. With a smooth, steady finesse that's putting his opponents to shame, this is Francois Lavoie.
I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, that one's pretty fun to watch, isn't it?
Made me smile. Plus, it's just fun to say Francois Lavoie. Very, very hockey-esque, or maybe somebody from the Hart family in the wrestling world.
It's like real classy.
The Quebecer. Hey, he's from Quebec. Got to say it with a K, not a Q. And here's Lavoie, your 2 seed. His first shot here. Saw Allen drop an open frame in the first. Lavoie's going to leave the 7.
And, sorry, Rob. When we went to break, Jason and I were standing up watching Francois warming up for this match. Also, Kyle Troup got a couple practice shots in, and we were paying close attention to where they were playing on the lane. Jason, are you surprised at all at how deep Francois is starting this match?
No, not after what we're seeing. They're hooking way more than they have for this entire tournament. So when that happens, the move left, slow your speed down, get a little angle down lane.
And there's one other key, Kimberly, for Francois Lavoie today.
Absolutely, Rob. So as you may recall, during our pre-show interviews, Francois mentioned several times that leading up to this weekend, he focused on remaining comfortable. And to accomplish that, he said he practiced more than normal, and he even flew in a few days before this event to work with Storm rep Sean Ryan on his physical game, saying anything I can do extra to help me gain a win just makes sense to do it. So I spoke to Sean at the break after watching Francois take a few practice shots, and he said, Frankie is in a good spot physically, and I'm happy with how quickly he's implemented everything we worked on. He's ready for today.
And he gets a strike right there. Kimberly, we asked him, hey, you got a cool story on what you've done with the downtime? He goes, I haven't done anything. Right? Staying cautious, trying to avoid COVID, and focusing in on today and getting comfortable. He looked comfortable here in this shot.
Way in left of 4th arrow. And one of the things that makes Francois so great is his touch at the bottom of the swing. He can really manipulate it with a very soft hand at release. All right, so what kind of move does he make when he goes to the left lane off of that high hit, Jason?
Well, he's already moved another jump there on the right lane, so that's going to be the move there on the left lane. He's got to jump over that transition, get into the round, the 19 through 21, 22 at the arrows. Now, the break point is also very critical. The further left that these guys are going, they're going to have to make sure that they create the angle of entry through the pin. So that break point, anywhere from 5, 6, 7, has a good chance with that slower ball speed.
And that last shot was 3 boards left of the shot he threw in the first frame on this lane right here.
On the left, Allen.
Pretty high flush hit. He's going to make another move on that lane the next time he's up on the left.
Yep, he needs to go at least a few more and then keep his eyes down lane, just a pinch to the right. About 1 or 2 boards down lane, a few boards left with his feet and eyes in the front part of the lane. And then I think we're going to see the Dick Allen from the regional finals.
Strike Track, powered by Kia, told us that that was 5 boards left from his first shot in the first frame on that left lane, and he's going to move more.
And again, the winner to take on your 1 seed, Kyle Troup, for that $250,000 payday. Will Lavoie be the man there? Francois, back-to-back.
Now the boys are going to be throwing very similar shot shapes. It's going to come down to who's going to get it off their hand the cleanest, who's going to get it to go through the pins the best, and who can minimize their errors.
And what's going through Kyle Troup's head right now, he's watching, and he's trying to figure out the best way to attack this pair. What is he thinking?
I'm sure he's thinking, I'm going to have to get in left with these guys and curve it as well. Straighter today does not seem greater.
Fourth major televised appearance for Lavoie. Won the 2016 and the 2019 U.S. Open, trying to win his 3rd major today. And he gets another strike. That's 3 in a row.
Another great shot by Francois Lavoie, and that great touch gets the ball to finish perfectly in the 1-3. That's 3 in a row.
When Francois flew into Orlando a couple of days, I had the pleasure of training with him. And one of the things that we were talking about was the ability to be as versatile as we possibly can. And he made a comment that he heard my Norm Duke reference to him. And I explained to him, I said, I think you are. I think you are the modern day version of Norm Duke. Soft at the bottom, can play all the way across the lane.
Does Allen's style remind you of anybody, or is this purely
pretty unique?
Yeah, purely Dick Allen.
Yeah, I mean, you know, his game's changed a little bit over the years. Remember, he kind of looked the same, but he used to loft it a lot more, stayed in the ball a lot longer. He's been working on trying to get it out of his hand cleaner. But I think it's pretty unique. He's got a lot of upper body tilt and a high backswing, and then just kind of maintains that position.
On Saturday, the former 2-time super middleweight world champion Anthony the Dog Durrell returned. The underdog's champ, Dick Allen, your South Regional champion. In a bit of an early hole, Lavoie has figured things out. Allen needs to. This off a 9 spare. 3rd strike of the match for Allen.
And I got to tell you right now, especially on that shot there, it looks like Dick Allen is trying to create some more side rotation. It looked like he got off the side a little bit more, trying to create a little more axis rotation to help that ball cover a little bit more ground.
Well, he has to. He has to create that angle down lane. So the further left that he's going to move, well, you're going to have to create that angle another way. If not through the front part of the lane, you're going to have to create it down lane, and you do that with your hand release.
The arsenal for Lavoie. Full range of hook options there. Oh, that looked nice, but leaves the 7th.
It's too good. Yeah, a great
Too
shot.
good.
Yeah, great shot. Working on a 3-bagger, and he could really put boots to Dick Allen, and instead he gets them put to him with this rude, solid 7-pin right there. But let's keep in mind one thing. and I promise you the players are looking at this. This is a $50,000 match. The difference between second and third.
Yep. Second place guarantees $130,000. Third place, $80,000. The winner, $250,000. And again, a $1 million bonus in our championship match should there be a 300 game. That would be the first time it's ever happened at a major, under the lights, in a championship match.
Now, here in the context of this match, these next 2 to 3 frames for me are going to be huge. I don't know if Dick is completely convinced he's got the right shape through the pins on the right lane. Francois, well, that bad break, anything could potentially happen to Francois as well. So if Francois can get this one and the next one, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Dick Allen. If he doesn't, I think Dick can throw that pressure straight back onto Francois.
Pretty good there. You know, you look at the exterior of Francois Lavoie, and he looks real cool, calm, and collected. But on the inside, he kind of comes off as being a ferret on a double espresso. I talked to him yesterday about his choice of attire. I've got more when we come back.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
That highlight of Chris Prather makes me sad because we used to have fans that could come into the place.
It's coming. It's coming. I don't know if it's going to be next week, but it's coming soon. Dick Allen in the 6th gets the strike.
And that's a great sign right there when the 6 goes to the sidewall and chops the 10 out like that for a right-hander. That'll give Dick Allen a lot of confidence. Let's take a look at how much different he's playing them from game 1 to game 2. A good 10 boards difference with his feet and the lay down. 6 boards at the arrows. The break point's still going to stay relatively close because that's where the friction is down lane. And then the entry angle obviously has to change based on the other 2 angles being much different.
Yeah, and that frame that he just struck then was real clutch. Coming out of the break, if he doesn't strike there, that makes it so much more harder. Easier for Francois to step up, sorry. Clutch again.
Clutch, the buzzword. And Dick Allen, he's all over the gas. He can hit the brakes. But when you need somebody to hit the clutch, who's your guy? Dick Allen's your guy. Hit the clutch.
I saw that on social media. I'm like, oh, that is clever.
Sometimes social media is okay,
clever.
kids. Sometimes it's all right. He has been clutch throughout this PBA Players Championship. Remember, though, started with that open frame in the first. He's been trying to dig himself out of that early hole. Lavoie up 2. Here he is to close out the 7th. He can max with a 269. He's on the right lane, which have given him some struggles. Leaves the 10.
That was so close. All the way down, all the way to the break point, and even as it was hitting the pins, I thought that was a pretty great shot. And just at the last second, the ball stops its continuation, the 6-pin wraps around the 10, and that was the shape that I had seen Dick Allen throw on that lane. But now, Francois, this is a real back and forth match right now.
Back-to-back taps for Lavoie on that right lane.
That is Spare of the Game, brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. Mortgage rates are historically low. Save money at rate.com today as Lavoie steps up and drops the 10-pin. He remains clean through 7. So for Lavoie, 9 spare. They had 3 strikes. 9 spare, strike, 9 spare. Here we go into the 8th. This, a tight one. The winner to take on your 1 seed, Kyle Troup. Again, left the 10-pin. Randy, you teased us going to break about some apparel work for Lavoie?
Yeah, you know, so yesterday he wore this, like, just the solid kind of like sandstone shirt, just, you know, a couple of logos on it. And what we're seeing in today's game is so much color and style and prints and designs. And And then there's Frankie just being Frankie. I mean, he's like the international man of mystery. So I said, maybe we get you a jersey that's like, remember those old tuxedo shirts? Ooh, something with like a suit or something.
Yeah.
Kind of design. And he said, I like that.
Tough to bowl in, I would think.
Oh, no, but it would be a bowling shirt.
Oh, all right.
With just the design on it.
I mean, heck, Kyle Troup bowls in a jumpsuit, so, I mean, what's different? All right, this is a big opportunity here for Allen. 3 strikes in a row, looking for, dare I say, a ham bone here in the 8th, and to take some momentum away from Lavoie camp.
And to take the lead.
For the lead. Ham bone!
So, Jason, it looks like he's starting to dial this ball in and this move, and the way he's playing this pair, he's starting to look real comfortable.
Yeah, and make no mistake, this is a subtle change of hand position. You can see how much more around the ball he got from that 4th frame ringing 10-pin. And that is just pure clutch touch performance in these last few frames. One more right now is going to make life for Francois Lavoie very, very difficult.
And clutch burned one of his re-racks. He's got one left. The 21-time pro. His 21st year on the tour. Immediately said re-rack it after that strike. Give himself some time to bring that heart rate down. This is huge. In the 9th. Looking for 5 in a row and finding it.
That may be his best shot of the match for me. The way that it's shaped, the way it went through the pins, the frame, and in the context of the match. Right now, if Francois Lavoie does not strike out, it will allow Dick Allen to only need a mark in the 10th frame. At worst, if Francois doesn't strike at all, it's all over.
I mean, the way he snapped his hand around that at the bottom was beautiful.
Lavoie has led since the opening frame, now down 19 in the 9th. Major strike there. Keeps himself alive.
Yeah, and I mean, in his mind, he's thinking, in order to have any chance to win, I have to strike out.
Yeah, this next frame is everything. A spare here for Francois. Dick Allen just has to stay behind the foul line. No count necessary. This shot, not only is there $50,000 for the win of this particular match, there's a chance to play for the title, a chance at $250,000, and a chance for $1 million for a 300.
Great shot. He's been throwing great shots this whole game and this whole match.
And with the mathematics, Randy, 2 more strikes here forces Dick Allen to strike in the 10th.
Yep.
Actually, 1 strike and 9 will be enough for that. So this next frame now, as important as that last one keeps him alive, this one now forces Dick Allen to do a whole lot more work in the 10th frame when it's his turn.
Winner of this match guaranteed $130,000 at worst. Huge shot here for Lavoie. 2nd in the 10th. Left the 10.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a little soft down lane, and that might prove to be the undoing of Francois Lavoie. Has not missed the pocket this entire game, and his max score now is 227.
Yeah, it just didn't look like it came off his hand the same way. The ball didn't quite get into that roll where it did the frame before. It didn't have that continuation. Still, the first strike in the 10th has given him a chance. It's going to take a spare from Dick Allen, a high count spare. You don't want a gutter ball spare at this point. So he's going to have to hit some pins and then cover the spare to win.
227 for Lavoie. He takes a seat. Your 3 seed. Dick Allen needs a mark to move on to the title match. Kyle Troup, your 1 seed. 5 strikes in a row, looking for 6. And he'll move on.
Can we put that graphic back up? Clutch. He's accelerating. He's not braking. He's using that clutch when he needs to. Dick Allen, you look back at the very first frame where he was playing further to the right, left that split early on, then makes another adjustment, then another adjustment, and once he felt lined up, absolutely executed at the bottom of the swing every single time to get the last 6 strikes.
And look at the difference in pin carry from the two players. And it's because Dick Allen was able to trick it up. Good time for that one.
Really, really good time for that.
It's all about timing, my friend. All about timing.
Well, that's another $50,000 in the pocket of Dick Allen.
So Allen moves on. Lavoie will finish in 3rd. He'll get an $80,000 payday. The winner of our next match gets $250,000 payday. And again, a chance for $1 million bonus in our next match. Allen, the 3 seed, has now won 2 in a row. Remember last week he ran the ladder to get to this show. Now he's in the title match against Kyle Troup. Somebody will win their first ever major. Allen, Troup, next on Fox. And why today is set up to be that next step in our 1 seed, Kyle Troup's career. He's got Dick Allen in the final of our PBA Players Championship next, uninterrupted, live on Fox.
2 bowlers with a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity can either deliver a perfect 300 game and cash in on the $1 million prize. Who will be this year's first major champion? The PBA Players Championship title match starts now on Fox.
You ready, boys? We are ready. $1 million 300 game bonus out there. It would be the first time we've ever witnessed a 300 game in a championship match at a major. It is Troup versus your 3 seed, Dick Allen. Neither one has ever won a major title. The one thing missing from both of their resumes. Yesterday, it was a flat throw from Kyle Troup as he locked up the 1 seed. Today, he has picked it out. He's got his Laker best on as he hopes to celebrate a major. Ditto for our good friend from South Carolina, Dick Allen, who will start us off here in our title match. 244, 227 in the last match. You see these two have met before out in Lubbock, Texas. I hope all of our friends in Texas are doing well, by the way. Thinking of you guys. Allen starts us off with the strike.
Right where he left off.
Yeah, and what does that look like too, Randy? It looks like what we saw from the Regions.
The Players Championship East Regional winner, Kyle Troup.
With a signature look that makes him one of the funkiest figures on the PBA Tour, Kyle Troup is undeniably the pro with a fro. Son of bowling legend Guppy Troup, you can tell the ball doesn't roll far from the tree, as Kyle brings kaleidoscope style and winning ways to the lanes, just like his dad. With 6 national titles and 16 career 300 games, it's hard to believe this two-handed power player was working the counter at his local Wendy's just a couple years ago. One of the PBA Tour's brightest rising stars, will the pro with a fro be feeling groovy this time around? Pick it out, baby. This is Kyle Troup.
And that's Kyle Troup doing his best for the marketing department, for the PR department. But he said, I love what you guys mentioned about me a couple weeks ago. I'm no longer Sideshow Bob. I need to be main event Kyle. And he's got a main event look to this right now. His first shot at the PBA Players Championship, and he's got some lifting ahead of him.
Well,
very makeable.
Yeah, unfortunately, no 300 game and $1 million bonus for Kyle. But let me just take a quick second to send well wishes to co-founder and CEO of Storm Bowling Products, Bill Chrisman, who's at home recovering from some health issues. Bill, we all here in Florida in all recovery, my friend.
Troup able to cover that one. 300 game and $1 million bonus gone for Troup, but his focus is on getting that first major, that next step in his career. Would put the world on alert, saying, I am here. He won 3 titles last year. He put the Player of the Year race on notice last year. He can take the early lead in that Player of the Year race, Belmo, with a win today. Bounces back with a strike in the second.
So Kyle's looking to play the lanes very, very similar to what we've seen from him on this oil pattern. A little more direct up the lane, trying to use more hold than he is trying to create hook down lane. It worked for him in the seeding round. Now we're seeing him trying to pull it out for the championship match.
And you don't like that route to the pocket?
Well, it wouldn't be my choice, but Kyle likes that shape. That's a comfort zone for Kyle. What I'm seeing from Dick Allen, a little bit more of that slower ball speed, creating a little bit more shape, to me seems more likely to go through the pins better consistently. But the one thing I will say about Kyle Troup is when he's feeling it, it doesn't matter what I think. If he's feeling it, he's going to execute really well and knock him down.
This is already the best finish ever at a major for Dick Allen. 21 years on the tour for the 42-year-old from Lexington, South Carolina. The underdogs champ, looking for 3 straight to start.
Whoa.
Double wood, 300 game gone. $1 million bonus gone. First major for one of these two, still very much in play.
Randy?
Yeah.
19.4 miles an hour. That's the number I wanted to look at that particular shot. I don't think direction was so bad. I think he just threw it really quick.
And Rob, you mentioned that this is going to be Dick Allen's highest finish ever in a major. Same holds true for Kyle Troup.
Cleans up the double wood. Head to PBA.com to check out the official PBA Pro Bowling video game. Introducing some all-new features. Look at Kyle Troup right there, including new equipment, playing as your favorite pro, and more. Available for the Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and for your PC as well.
It's great stuff. Big shot here early for Kyle Troup.
8 spare strike. Here he is to close out the third.
What do you think, Jason?
He's going to have to bowl great. I mean, just looking at those 2 shots just on that right lane, he goes from a high, very fast 8, the 4-7, so the ball's gone high. He's made a slight adjustment, and now he's gone very light. Kyle Troup, he's feeling it. I'm feeling it with him now. Let's go, Kyle. Let's use this path. I think he's committed to it. I don't think we're going to see him do anything different. It's just going to be down to him making the shots, getting the ball to bounce him around.
1 seeds and Stepladders 5 and 6 last year. Leaves the 10 pin. In the regionals leading up to the Players' Championship, though, the 1 seeds were 4 and 1. Troup was one of those 1 seeds. The one that moved on, not as a 1 seed, Dick Allen, who rode the ladder, climbed all the way up from that 5 spot to win it.
Sorry, Rob, go ahead. Me? Okay. Well, that flat 10, you can see just how much straighter Kyle Troup is going than Dick Allen. And that light hit on the right lane, the flat 10 on the left lane. If I'm Kyle Troup, I'm going back to the bench, and I'm really going to reevaluate if I'm playing the lanes correctly or not. Now, granted, some of that's going to be based on what my opponent does.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it's a feel thing. I think he thinks he can make that work.
Allen looking for his third strike here in the fourth, and he's got it. So he's been perfect on that right lane so far.
17.4 miles per hour, Randy. That extra 2 miles an hour slower allows the ball a little more time to grab the friction down lane.
He has made the adjustments all afternoon long, and this was something that worried Kyle Troup, the fact that anyone who gets more than one game on the pair has an advantage. But remember, Kyle Troup was a 1 seed, only had 1 game on this pair, and was able to win the East region. Allen, your 3 seed, looking for his 3rd win of the day. He gets another strike. So a pair of strikes, 8 spare, and then another pair of strikes.
Jason, obviously a little bit faster on that left lane for him.
Yeah, and I also thought that was still faster than what he would have wanted, but still slower than that 19.4 miles. It gave it a little bit more time to see that friction. Got out of it clean, went through the pins great. These next 2 frames for me, Kyle Troup has to pure them. Let Dick Allen know that he's here for the long race.
Ooh.
There's not much he can do from that. That's the angle in which he's playing the lanes. For me, he has to go a little higher flush than that or much lighter than that. If he gets in that kind of pocket region right there, the ball speed, the way the oil is playing, the angle that he's hitting the pins, that 10 pin is going to stand more often than not. So he's going to have to pick one. Go high flush or go a little lighter. But that half pocket hit, I don't see him getting those hits.
5 frames in, 3 spares already for Troup. Winner of this one takes home $250,000. Second place, $130,000. Francois Lavoie, your 3rd place finisher, taking $80,000. Smallwood in 4th with $60,000. Anthony Simonson 5th with $50,000. Again, all these guys are going to be back next week fighting for the 2nd major of the season, the TOC, including you, Jason Belmonte. I'm sick of you joining us as an announcer.
Yeah, I'm done.
I know you are. I'm ready for you to get on the lanes. Troup, start the 6th, gets the strike.
You know, what's really interesting to me, guys, is that just how much farther to the inside Kyle's break point is than Dick Allen's.
Real quick, I find that interesting, right? There's so much pressure. There's so much money at stake. Kyle's been talking about, I'm serious. You get the sense that, you know what, I need to lighten myself up. I need to get back to who I am. Have some smile, pick it out, relax, and enjoy. Maybe he's putting too much pressure on himself, the weight of getting that 1st major. Allen, dialed in, 3 straight.
These players have all felt pressure before at some point or another. They've never felt pressure like this.
There's pressure, and then there's pressure cooker.
The richest tournament in the history of the PBA. Yes, the Tournament of Champions did have a prize fund, first place prize fund similar back in 2011, but never with $1 million bonus on top.
And remember, neither player has won a major championship.
So you combine the two with trying to win your 1st major, inching that much closer to Hall of Fame credentials for both players, and then $250,000, and they've never felt this kind of pressure. Every shot makes somebody happy, and that one made Kyle Troup happy right there, as Dick Allen could have really increased his lead. This gives Kyle Troup a great opportunity to get right back in it.
Yeah, well, mathematically, if Dick Allen spares this and they both strike out, it would be a tie. So if I'm Kyle Troup and I'm watching what is happening, the 7th and 8th frames for Kyle Troup must be 10 back. He has to make Dick feel the pressure to strike with him. a ring 10, a flat 10 right now, or a swisher 7, anything that where the ball doesn't go through the pins right. Not only does it make the scoring more beneficial to Dick, but it also gives him that confidence. Hey, if I can just force him to make a shot late in the game, I don't know if his ball reaction is going to give him those hits. Right now, though, he has to tell Dick, I can strike out from here doing what I'm doing. Yeah, great shot, Randy. A little bit slower on that ball speed. Change to his release.
I want to remind you, coming up in just minutes, the NASCAR Cup Series continues at Daytona. Chase Elliott looks to defend his win at the 14-turn road course. Stay tuned. NASCAR Race Day coming up next here on Fox, followed by the green flag dropping at 3 Eastern. Of course, we're just about 180 miles south of the Daytona International Speedway here at the Bolero Jupiter in beautiful Jupiter, Florida.
Yeah, if they strike out, I have to correct myself. I didn't realize Dick Allen had left an 8 spare in the third. I thought it was a 9 spare. So if Dick Allen and Kyle Troup strike out, Kyle will win by 1.
3 in a row for Troup.
That's a shot. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, the biggest difference that I talked about the last time Kyle was up is he has now opened the lane up a little bit more, slowed his ball speed down, and he's shaping it. And that shape is what's going to get that 10-pin out that he left. He saw that, he realized it, and he said, you know what, I've got a micro.
Baby. That's a shot.
I got to make a micro adjustment here. I got to shape it just a little bit more different to have a chance to win my first major. It's exactly what he did, and the execution was perfect.
Pressure on Allen. How clutch can he be here in the 8th? Hit the brakes.
Got it there fast. Got it there fast.
So what he means by that is he got it to the dry part of the lane too early, and it overhooked. Lucky that wasn't a big 4, just the 4.7. Maybe the worst time for him to leave the 4.7.
He's been nothing but strikes on that right lane until this shot.
Listen, if he's going to miss, that would be the time to miss. He's now got to regroup, make the shot, not get it to the right as quick. And because of those 2 8 spares, the other thing that he loses is the count. So now, the 9th frame, the foundation frame for Dick Allen. He's got to regroup. He's got to force Kyle Troup to at least double.
He's regrouping with a re-rack. Each have 1 re-rack remaining. Just 2 frames left here at the PBA Players Championship. First event and the first major of the 2021 PBA season. $250,000 on the line. And the first major title for one of these 2 men, Dick Allen and the 1 seed, Kyle Troup. Allen, back-to-back spares. Has to get a strike here in the foundation frame 9th. .710, come on.
Oh, my goodness. Could that be
first half of the game was
possibly
so
a $120,000 shot? Difference between first and second, and when he needed to strike the most to set up the 10th, he leaves a pocket 7-10.
It's a cruel game, boys. That's such a great shot off his hand. The last 3 or 4 that were in that position down lane just read it a little stronger, went through the pins a little better. That time, the 5-pin misses the 7-pin, the 6-pin misses the 10-pin to leave the pocket 7-10.
Just brutal timing.
And we talked about this in 2019, Jason. You left not 1 but 2 real freakish 7-10s to lose to Simonson.
Yeah, Dick still's got a frame to go, but he knows this one has just been handed over to Kyle Troup. Huge ham bone for Troup. That much closer to his first major.
And guess what? With this next shot that Kyle Troup throws in the 10th frame, he's basically going to say, hello, world. I have arrived. I am legit. I'm real. I'm not a sideshow.
I'm a main event.
Yeah.
NASCAR Cup Series racing from Daytona coming up next. But first, it's Troup, 9 pins away from history. He woke up Monday saying it's a major week. Sunday, it's a major title. Finally, for Kyle Troup.
Randy, that adjustment in the 6th frame was a $250,000 adjustment.
Love you, Mom. Dom, Tyler, Brian, Cindy, love all y'all. Thank you, Storm. Mower X, Team Fish, Vice, School Week. Oh, my God. Thank you all the fans, too. Y'all make this possible. Love all y'all.
So happy for that young man. Sideshow to main eventer. Kyle Troup gets the win next Sunday live here on Fox 1 Eastern. We're right back here for the Kia PBA Tournament of Champions, the second major of this year. Coming up next year on Fox, though, we're going to head north. NASCAR Race Day, followed by NASCAR Cup Series racing from the Daytona Road Course. For Randy, Kimberly, Jason, our entire crew, I'm Rob Stone. Kyle Troup is your PBA Players Championship winner.